Hello, here is the short demonstration that we have Ubuntu server installed alongside OpenStack services, and we have identity services, which is Keystone, and running alongside Apache. As you can see, Apache is active and running, and WSGI Keystone is working alongside WSGI server. Also, OpenStack services is working and running here as well. I just want to source admin, then OpenStack user list. If I show you here, so you can see the user list in the OpenStack. So this is the configuration server is running Ubuntu server, and OpenStack also configure running there. And this is the file which is credential for OpenStack authorization, where URL, username, and password has been assigned, and the user interface where we can manage user management and user role management, service management for the identity services. As you can see, this OpenStack services is working here. And if I show you services list also, it can show, and because this is all CLI, we have to manage by a CLI, but the project was to manage these things in the user interface graphically. So that's come the where we are going to install and configure the identity management, and that one is working under Docker in the same virtual machine. And you can see this Python Flask application is running under Docker, and this is the ports. So we are accessing with the IP address of the virtual machine. Here is the IP address of the virtual machine and the port of the that container which is running the application. So that's the main page. Let me show you alongside that admin OpenRC, where I have exported this file like admin username, admin password, project, and default domain, then URL path, and the version of the Keystone API. So we are accessing now. This is our all user management, where we can manage users, we can create user, we can assign user. For example, I'm going to create, let me delete this user. As you can see, that user will be deleted from here as well. The list is updated, and from OpenStack services also. OpenStack user list. Previously, when I show you user list, it was that user was exist, and now that user is not exist. And also role assignment. For example, I just want to create another user, for example, with this name, password, and select the project. We have right now two projects. So admin is the default project. So that's what I'm going to select here, and the role I'm assigning here as a member. So here we have to assign the role same time when we are registering the user. So that user has been created with the member role in the project of admin. But here, while we are creating user, so with the user creation, we have to assign the role with separate command. If I show you role assignment, so we can see the users with the role alongside. So this is the member which I created just now, and this was before, and this was also before, and this is also before. So these are the role assignment, and that's how we are working with the graphical interface where we can create and delete users. So, and it's updating simultaneously to the server, Ubuntu server with OpenStack services CLI command. You can check also. So here we have project management. We can add more project and assign user with those projects. Group management if we want to utilize the group services. Then domain, the default domain already is there. We can create another domain and we can utilize for domain and project under that domain. Then we have tokens, then endpoints. We can create more endpoints for this services. So here is the main service another. So this is all identity services where we can manage user, projects, groups, domain, and token endpoint. So here we can see the status for Keystone services. Also, we can manage those services. For example, if I show you here with the pseudo system CTL, as I showed you earlier, sudo system CTL stat Apache2. So you can see that this is running right now. If I stop here from the user interface, so it will show inactive. Also, Keystone status is unavailable. Okay. The other services also fail to retrieve the services because that service is offline. It's not running anymore. You can see here this is inactive. That service, and you can see this is service is dead and not working anymore. So let me turn on, start that service again. So you see that service is active now, and the status is also now will be updated. And you can check here also the service is running and active. So the status also showing here operational and it's working. And so there are in this user interface contained three type of services. First of all, identity services, which is related to Keystone and user management, project management, group and domain. The other is Keystone service to start and stop, and we can see the status. Then we have here database also. So this database is connecting the database which are backend working here. For example, I just want to select all user from user table, so we can see the command here. If I go here, MySQL u root, so we are already inside database of show database. Databases. So we have this database with the name of Keystone, and we will use Keystone database. So right now we are under Keystone database. Then I can select this command from user table. So same, you can see here the result is there. For example, this first user, because there is a token for that user, this is BD B6, and also here BD B6. Then second 5624, so 5624 D8CF, so D8CF. So this is the result from there. Also, we can search from role, so it will give us all available role in Keystone. So we can run same here. So this is the all result coming from the same CLI what we are going to use from Ubuntu server login to the database. So this is all CLI command line interface, and this is the user interface, and we can see the uptime, the connections, how many connections, and user. For example, we are active user here, and these are the table. We can check project also. For example, we need to select all from the project table. So we can see here the project table as well from here. So same result is showing as is showing there. So what is the default is default project, then IDMUI and admin. If I add the project here, so you can understand this, we are checking directly from the database. So there's all things in the database, we are not in the OpenStack. For example, I create another demo project. So and when I go again, select all from project, and again we can check it here CLI. So we can see that demo project is there, and you can see demo project again here. Also, let me show you previous result. So the previously when we select the project, there was no more project with the name of demo. Here we have the project with the name of demo. Similarly, let me exit from the database. So now I am outside of the database, and now I can check the project list and OpenStack. OpenStack, well, there was a spell mistake. OpenStack project list. That's the problem CLI. If you made small mistake in the typo mistake, so it is not going to work. So see, you can see the project here. Let me delete that project from the graphical interface. So the same demo one, or let me show you again one more thing. While we are creating user, that project will appear here. This is list of projects, so you can see the demo and admin, IDMUI, all project list is coming. The role also all showing here. So let me delete that anyone. For example, I just want to delete the project with this. I cannot delete this one because my project is my application is running under this project. So this is the short demo for this identity management, and you can see only admin is there. And this is the dashboard. We can view status. You can manage service directly, go from here. Services, you can go to services, then users and OpenStack. So this identity service user interface, identity user management, this has identity services, then Keystone services to manage, and this Keystone what we are managing, we are using Paramiko library in Python, which is interacting with the Ubuntu server and working connecting with SSH connection. And there's no time, otherwise I can show you that configuration as well. Let me just briefly show. So here this config, and this is the authentication for the Keystone services, where I assigned the project as admin and username as admin and password for that user. And this is the database. That's how database is connecting. This is the user database password, that user password, and this is the database we are using, and this is the port. And if I go to the file app.py, and I think it's under Keystone util file. Let me open the util file. So I will show you here. Very quick. There will be Paramico library, which is executing the Keystone manage command. That's how it's working and connecting. Yeah, here is this is the run remote commands. We are using Paramico. So SSH client, this is the one, and this is the IP address again for that virtual machine where the OpenStack services are installed, and the username, password, and this function will run the sudo command, and after that command. So the command has been defined under routes. So in the routes we can see those commands which is running the Keystone service to start and stop. So here let me show you where that command is there very quickly. Service management, this is user management, Keystone manager here. So here we are Keystone manage. So this is the run remote, that utility function, and this is the system CTL if it is active, and this is running command. It will run while we are defined this function. There was sudo, and this is the command systemctl action. So where we have the action, if action. So one of these action, for example, start, stop, and restart, anyone. So it will call that function, that serve actions, and it will run. So that's how what is going to run this command. For example, if we press for the start service, so it is going to run this command through this function and routes sudo systemctl start Apache2 inside the virtual machine. So this is brief and very quick demo demonstration for this identity management, and we have built this project under Python using Flask library. And I have also this Docker image in my repositories as well. I give you this link. You can download, you can use this Docker image which is built in with this all services running similar this option. So what just you have to do to just clone this and go to there that directory, then you can just start the just export this one time, and after that just build this Docker with this command and run the Docker. Once you run the Docker, it will be working under the virtual machine IP address alongside this port. Then you have to navigate with the IP address in any browser accessible that virtual machine. Thank you very much.